Hello and welcome to our fifth chapter in this course. Our fifth chapter has to do with images. I know there are many reasons why one would like to add an image to his or her web page. You may want to add a logo, a photograph, a featured image or an illustration or any diagram to further explain a particular point or to make your web page look presentable and then to look very professional. And then there are several things you must consider when selecting or preparing your image to use on your website. You have to take time to select the right images that will look more attractive and professional as you want it. In this lesson, we are going to talk about how to include an image in your web page using HTML. We are also going to explain how we can choose or we can pick the right picture format to use. We are also going to discuss how to show an image at the right size, because every image must come with the right dimensions. We are also going to learn how to optimize an image for use on the web. So without wasting much time, let's start. Images can say a lot of words. In fact, images can say 1,000 words in less than few minutes than you reading a very long description about your website. So the images you put on your website goes a long way in what? In helping people to understand whatever goes on in your company. So if you have photographs of yourself, or if you have your own photographs, that is fine. But if you don't have your own photographs, there are stock images company. What they do is they sell images for you to use on your website. What you have to be careful about is that all images come with some copyright attached. Not every picture you see on the internet is free to use or to commercialize or to even tamper. So if you are looking for images, correct images, there are good stock images companies I will recommend. The first one is iStockPhoto. The iStockPhoto.com. You can get very good images over there. So there's a free account and there's a paid one. Try and register on it, and then you can choose. You can filter by going through career images. If you want pictures about a chef or about a doctor or about a plumber to use on your website, about a designer, you can go and then subscribe and then pay some few dollars to be able to use their images. And then there's another one, which is what? GettyImages.com. At Getty Images too, they also have a payment plan. You can go get an account over there. They even have videos for you to download. The moment you download it, you have the right to use it on your website for free, so that you can get control of whatever images you are using. Don't use a copyrighted images on your website for free, because it can land you into serious trouble. sxc.hu sxc.hu also bring you to freeimages.com. I think they have redirected their website. And then the last one is Fotolia. Fotolia also take you to stock.adobe.com. However, you can also do the traditional search of images. So you can go to images.google.com. Let's do it. Images.google.com. If you do this in your address bar, and then you are looking for a particular image, let's say you are looking for a doctor, you just type in a doctor. When you type in a doctor, you come to your settings. It doesn't mean you can just use any of them. You can see each of the picture comes from a particular website. So these are the links we spoke about. So free pick, this is from Balance Careers, this is from Calling Dictionary. So you can come to your settings and then go to your advanced search. We are going to look for images we can use for free without getting into trouble. You can come to the usage rights. At this place you can choose Creative Commons licenses and you click on advanced search. After you have filtered it this way, the images that display now can be used for free. These ones are the ones you can use for free. The one from stocksnap.io, free SVG. Any image you want to use on your website, try and get the one that has been licensed to be used for free. You can get a lot. Let's say I'm looking for a school to use an image of a school. I have to come to my settings, choose my advanced search, and then scroll down to the usage rights, choose Creative Commons licenses, and then click on advanced search. Now these ones are images we can use without getting into trouble. Do not use any copyrighted image. Like I said, images too must be relevant. You don't just post images on your website. They have to be relevant. They have to convey the right mood. They have to carry a lot of information to be able to support your text. It has to be it has to also fit into a palette. Don't just be designing without having the color impression. All your designs must be on point, and then you'll be able to use those images that are licensed to be used for free, or you subscribe and pay to a stock images company to get the right images to be able to describe or to carry the information you want it to carry. Most of the free ones wouldn't carry the right information you want. Okay, like this, probably you are in Africa, you want a black child, and then you are only seeing fair, and you don't want this as well. So this limits you. Okay, it limits you as to the number of pictures you can get for free. But if you subscribe to the stock companies, you'll be sorted. They have almost every picture that suits almost every career or situation in life. They have that for lifestyle, they have for entertainment, they have pictures for everything, even food. Okay, now as a very good practice, anytime you are creating a website, I will recommend that you use images that are stored locally, so that you limit the number of images that you are sourcing externally. Let's say putting the link on your website, because you do not have the control over their server. If their server goes down, that image will not be showing. So it is always important to get the images locally on your device. That means you get them, if you are downloading them, download them on your device so that you can easily cite them or call them easily, okay, or reference them easily. One practice is to create an images folder. If you are using videos, create a video folder so that everything will be in order. All your directories will be in order. If you are looking for flash video, you know where you are going to. If you are looking for images, you know which folder to select it from. If you are looking for audio, you know where to go. Okay, so we are supposed to create another folder within our HTML and CSS course. Let's see if you can create a subfolder and name it images. Let's name it images. Okay, that means that we have a folder called images inside a bigger folder called HTML and CSS, as we see it here. So all our images, will store them in this images folder so that everything will be in order. The moment we open our folder, we have all our information concerning the website. So let me just download some one or two the website and download Sewono Coding School logo. Now the right way to download an image. Okay, if the image is on the internet, if you click on the image as such, let the image load completely. To avoid getting blurry images, you right click, you save image as. Don't copy, save image as, because if you copy it, it will still be hosted on, let's say, Facebook, and then you don't have control over Facebook, like I said. So save it locally on your device. So let's look for the folder. The folder we created is on the desktop. So let's look for desktop. On the desktop, it was this, and inside it we have images. So we are going to save it inside this particular. We can give it a name and say logo, and then click on save. It will download it. As you see, it has finished downloading. Let's get another. Maybe if this doesn't fit properly, it's our old logo. Let's go through. Let's explore and get. Let me use this, and then take note of this. On the desktop, in this folder, in the images folder, there is save as well. So we've downloaded all 3 images locally. So now they are sitting on our machine. Now we don't care whether the site we copied them from goes down or it doesn't go down. We do not care about it. We will still have what? We still have the images we would like to use. So now I can confidently close this, close all these links. Alright, now how do we insert our images? We now have our images. We've chosen the best image. We've saved it on our computer in our images folder. How do we call the image to display on our web page? Let's say here we want the image to be showing. How do we insert the image? Okay, now to add an image to your web page, you will have to use the image element, and the image element is also an example of an empty element. That means it has no closing tag. Let me bring the image. So it is img. When I do an img, what do I do? The img element contains 2 attributes. One is the source attribute, and the other one is what? It's an auth attribute. Now the source attribute tells the browser where it can find the image file. In this case, it is what? A relative URL. A file, the image file that is located on your computer. So the source attribute tells the browser where to go and look for the image. So we are writing the first attribute is what? src to represent the source, image source, equal to, you bring an inverted comma. You know, anytime you bring an attribute, you should bring an equal to sign and then inverted commas or quotation marks. In between the quotation marks is where you enter your link. So where can we find this image? So you can find it in the folder called images on the computer. Image, what's the name of the file? You bring a /. Now automatically you see the text editor is suggesting 3 of the images that can be found in the what? In the images folder. That is one of the reasons why I like Visual Studio Code. So which one do we want to use? Let's say we want to use the course. And anytime you are writing, you are sourcing an image, you should indicate the image extension. So you can say at the end .jpg. If it is a png file, you must indicate .png. Any file format at all. So far as you are sourcing it, you should indicate it. This one can just display. The other information, I will explain it later. Let me just save this one. So this is just the basic syntax for inserting an image. So you bring the image, you bring the source of the image equal to, you enter the source. So you are telling the computer to go on you are telling the browser to go on the computer, look for a folder called images. Inside images, you look for a file called course.jpg. Okay, let me just bring this one right on top of the image, since They are It's kind of related. It's also on YouTube, and my course is on YouTube. Let me just insert this right above it or even below it. So let me just save and refresh my index. You can see my image showing beautifully on the page. You can see it here. That is the image I inserted. I inserted it right below the multi-list, and I told you HTML renders, the browser renders what HTML document from top to bottom. So depending on your own structure, your own arrangement, that is the way the browser is going to what display whatever you've done. So this is an image, and this is the link to that particular course on YouTube. Now, I spoke about image having two attributes. One of the attributes, like I said, is source. Another attribute you can add is what? Alt. A-L-T. Anytime you bring an alt or any attribute, what do? You bring an equal to sign and a quotation marks. What do you put inside? You can just say you are putting extra information in case the image does not show. This alternative text should show. So you are telling the browser that when something happens, in case something happens and then someone visits my website and it doesn't see this image for one reason or the other, this alternative text should display. So this text will display, and it will contain some explanation about what the image is. So you can just write YouTube course. So this is a YouTube course. Let's save it. Let me refresh my browser. The image is showing, so the alternative text is not showing. Let me try, and then let me remove the image source, save it, and try. And you see, if you check here, you are not seeing my image, but you are seeing the alternative text I placed inside the image element. You can see it here because there's a problem with my image. So it is possible that your image might have a problem. It is corrupted. Maybe your file is corrupted. It has been deleted on the server. Definitely it will not show on your website, but you have to also add an additional information to let the person know, okay, there was a banner here or there's an image here. Let me let my image show .jpg. There are a lot of attributes you can put inside the image element. One of it is even a description. Okay, a description of what the image is, or how the image, or what the image does. So let's say that is a title. So let me add a title so that you can understand whatever I mean. The title, also between the title I can just say this is a course from Sewuni Coding School on YouTube that teaches how to program or code without. You can just add this, you save it. Let me just refresh my browser to see. Now what this one does is that anytime you put your mouse pointer on the image, it will give you the information as a tooltip. As you can see, when I hover you see a piece of information that is saying this is a course. It's a course from Sewuni Coding School on YouTube that teaches how to program or code without coding. That is an additional information you are adding, so that when people place their pointer on the image, that particular information or description should appear. That is not compulsory to do though, but it is a very good practice. If you adopt it, it's going to help, because it will allow people to also understand whatever the image is trying to say. You can also add more attribute. Actually, you can also decide to add the height. Let me break this. You can decide to add the height and then the width of your image. Let's say your image is too big, you can decide to add, let's say, 400, this pixels, and then the width should also be, let's say, 300. Let me just see if you can add many attributes just to make your image appear very beautiful. You see, I've distorted my image. You see, so you can decide to reduce the height. It seems the height is too, the 600 is too much, or is it the 400 I used? Let me reduce the height. Let me just say a 200. Let me divide it into 2 to see. So it is important to also know the dimensions of your images before designing it. So if I'm designing a logo, don't go and create a very big logo and now come trying to resize it. Looking at your website, you look for the best logo dimension, create your images using that dimension so that it will be easier for you to insert them instead of inserting them and now try to work and then correct them using the height and then the width. Okay, if you go on the internet, you can get a lot of information on very good image dimensions. YouTube thumbnail, what is the dimension? Facebook banner, what is the dimension? Instagram banner, Instagram post, what is the dimension? So as at the point of creating it, you equip yourself and then to prevent any further editing of your images and the rest. Now we have the images. Where are the right places to insert images? We are going to practice 3 of places we can insert images. So first of all, let's try and insert an image. Let me just copy this image, the same image. Depending on where we insert the image, the display will be different. So let's insert one image just before a paragraph. Let me go to the home and see if I'll get some paragraphs to use. We can insert images just before a paragraph. Let me just create one. So let me just insert it right before the paragraph. So that is one. We have inserted before the paragraph. Let me insert this one in the middle of the paragraph. Let me insert it in the middle. So assuming this one is also a paragraph, so let me put it in the middle of the paragraph. Let me put it, let's say, after the house. Let me put the same image, and then okay, I think it's fine. Let me just save it into Contact S. Okay, so I have to open Contact S. Let me save Contact S -S. These are the images I inserted. One right before the paragraph, the second one into the paragraph. So this is a list, schoolhouse, and I brought an image, and I brought a hotel, and I brought hospital. You see, so you have to know the right places to insert images. You have to know right places to insert images in order not to disturb viewers or visitors to your website. Previous versions of HTML also allows you to align the text, but it is not a good practice. We will learn how to align text using CSS. At first, you can get something like a line. Okay, you get a line. Now we are not allowed to use. Previously, it allows you to align either to the left or to the right. So you just write the alignment. You bring an equal to, then you bring the inverted commas. You just write left. Okay, let me see if it works. Let me see if it works. Now it is not a very good practice to be doing. Now it worked. You can see that my image has come to the left. Okay, I'll try to align this one to the right, even though it's a very bad practice. We will learn how to align text using CSS. So no one should be doing this on this website. I'm just using it to explain how HTML has moved. Okay, how it has moved. So let me just write align right. Let me just save this one and refresh it. You can see the image has been aligned to the right. but we will learn how to align properly. This is a very bad way of doing it. Okay, that is if you want to arrange images horizontally. Okay, there's a way of also arranging images vertically. Okay, in arranging images vertically, which is also an auto-moded practice, you can just, instead of right, you can just say middle. No, let me just, yes, you can just say middle. So middle, and then let me choose top or bottom for the first one. Let me just use top. Let me save and then refresh. You learn how to align them properly. You see, now it has been arranged vertically. You can even do bottom, but when you're arranging it horizontally, it is right and left, but vertically it is top, middle and bottom. We will go into the details of how to align images using CSS when we get to our CSS lessons. Before using an image, there are 3 things you should put in mind. One is the size of the image, the other is the format, okay, and then the last one is the resolution of the image. So you should get, if you are creating the images yourself, you should know the amount or the file type or the image size to use. Some of the editors you can use in creating images include but not limited to Photoshop, one of the popular ones. You can get it, use the free trial to see how it goes, then you can subscribe to it. And another one is the pixlr.com. This is a free editor, but there's a premium one also. You can try it. If it's good, you go for the premium. And it's an easy way of designing and then editing. And the last one I'm going to talk about is ipc.com. It's also free. You can use it in creating your own design, in editing your own design. Because you can also use it in designing a collage, do your design for free. Okay, this is an example of this is the original image, and this is what IPC has been able to add by adding color effects, by making it greener as compared to the original. So this will be the end of our images lesson.